Basically, right.
Class of 57 once a week.
And I mean, we were girlfriend, boyfriend like in 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
And,
But Tally,
and
so
Jane
she was a
Harrison
cousin maybe?
Huh?
You think she was a cousin? Kind of distant cousin?
Well, okay, she knows who she descended from, and it's about the same place as Richard Lander
Okay.
for granddad. So somewhere there, I found tax records. I found tax records for Leander and another guy. What was his name? But anyways, you can get into the tax records of Ballard County in 19. That's something I discovered, but I haven't put it or made anything about it. Jacob Napoleon and his dad and the 2 servants came to Ballard in the winter of 1831. He died of a heart attack. They buried him under a large oak tree on the land they were looking at to buy, or he was looking to buy. Well, the guy that owned the land was his wife's brother.
Okay.
So anyways, then his goal in life was to get enough money to come back and buy that land. Well, he had a tobacco crop and everything, and barn burn.
Oh.
So I mean, you find these kind of things. But finally, he bought it, and the date of the will or the courthouse, whatever they do, write it down, was like 1860.
Okay, so his date of death.
Yeah. But I found where
his death certificate.
Pleasant paid taxes in 1857, so he was there before.
Yes.
This guy. Jacob Napoleon.
Okay.
So everybody thought.
So Jacob Napoleon and Pleasant were brothers, right?
All of them followed Jacob Napoleon. Well,
you found tax record that Pleasant was there before, and Pleasant is our upline, right?
He was there, yeah. He was there 3 years
before
he bought the land. I don't know.
And he paid taxes.
Yeah.
So he already owned something.
Yeah, that's well, if you rented, you had to put down,
But tax money?
I don't know. Yeah, that's some kind of deal. Do you own your own land, or do you rent it, or what, and so on and so forth? And we'll know the value. That's usually in a census.
Yeah.
Do you own your property? No. You rent. How many? What you're worth? That's like I found out. That sort of bothered me at first. Was Jackson, W.S. Jackson, who was MamaHelen's great grandfather, owned slaves.
Yeah, a lot of people in descendancy did own slaves.
Back up. Jacob Napoleon and his 12-year-old son and 2 servants were slaves. They had slaves. And you can find censuses of the slaves occasionally. But, it's all...
So how are they listed? I've never tried to look that up.
Usually it's... If you've got a list of censuses, they'll have one. Or it may even be combined. But most of those old censuses, man, if they had put down names, wouldn't it have been great? 1850 is the first year.
Oh, I know, and they just put how many people.
Yeah.
They put numbers.
They put down ages, 0 to 3, or
exactly.
3 to that.
Oh, I know. That drives me.
Male or female. Then if they were, you had males and then you had females, and in there they included slaves. Then you can find. See, that's how I found our. Which Williams was it? It would be Elizabeth's husband. See, last thing we found on Elizabeth was 1850 census. Her and Granddaddy's grandfather William, and his wife, who was a bonder, and Evelyn.
Right,
and
right.
Had the kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes a man had many wives that died.
I'm trying to think what it's called. It's a list of people who have died that died before that census was taken.
Oh, and that's put with the census? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes it is, and then it's got its own name, and it's published like a census.
Huh.
Just no head.
I know.
Anyways, I'm going through this, and I find Williams died in 1870. That has to be Granddaddy's grandfather. Yeah, because Granddaddy's father lived to 1912. I think 1912 or 1913. But William, whatever I've got in my thing, William J., I found him in those, I don't think I've even got that in here. Anavast pick. Okay. Well, let's see. I need to get back to, home. I go home a lot. To get back where I want to go.
You have to.
Jacob E. All right. Jacob E. was my dad. John L. was his dad. Jacob Anderson was his dad. And William W. was his dad. Married to Ann Evelyn.
Right.
Okay. The one that died, he died in 1870. So this is the one I found in the, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
It's a list of people that died before the census was
taken.
taken.
That's a list of people that died before that census was taken. Oh, here you go. Death of William, father, William Williams. Well, no, that's a different one. Birth, so wait a minute. Death of Nancy B. Son William E. Residence, Christian County. Death of Elizabeth Williams, 1851. That was my great grandmother. Birth of Isaac Eric Williams. Death of Isaac Eric Williams. Elizabeth. Death. Here it is, right here. Death, March 1870 in Ballard. One source. Let's see. U.S. Federal Census mortality schedule. If you find mortality schedules for Ballard County or Dyer County or Pemmican County, but it's in here, right here. I don't know if it'll come up or not. Name, William Williams. Birth, 1807, Virginia.
1807, Virginia.
Death, 1870, Ballard County.
Okay.
Montgomery County Archives. Found it in Tennessee, and it's Kentucky.
I know. Well, somebody else carried it there, probably.
There was this lady, I can't remember her name. She was the biggest help to me. Knew every bonder that ever lived. She had them. You know, and I wrote her.
I think you might have told me about that.
I wrote her. She gave me some information, and then she wrote me, and she was doing a write-up on them. I had never found where they got married. She found their marriage, and it was in Montgomery County, Tennessee.
Okay, so that's why that was there.
You got Hopkinsville, and on down the road a little bit is Tennessee.
Right.
Well, everybody went there. That was the bigger town.
Okay. They didn't care if it was Tennessee or
Montgomery
Kentucky.
County Archives, Tennessee. www.MCGTN Organization Archives. Marriages, blah, 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 blah. Bonder, search, Smith, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But that's how I found him.
Williams.
When he died. 1870. Now, he died before the census.
Right. Before the census was taken in that year.
Yeah. Oh, I guess when they took the census, they found out he had died. So they put it...
in the mortality
schedule. Yeah. Mortality records. But I found 3 or 4 people in the mortality records.
Like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, nobody.
Now, would they do that just for the odd year, the 70, 80, 90, or did they do it everything from...
Yeah, they only do the census every 10 years.
Right, so, but they did everything, everybody that died in that 10 years?
I think it's the year of the census.
Okay. I don't know. I have not looked at it. And when I worked for the census, I didn't work on that at all.
See, now you get up at the top, you get facts. Well, that's ancestry. But sources, I can't remember it. It's been a while.
Mortality.
I may have found this maybe 15, 20 years ago. See?
Yeah.
So all the stuff I'm sitting here talking about is stuff I've...
Did you have anything before William?
Before William?
That's the last one you've got?
No, the oldest one I got is up here, William Williams. And Jim found this and swear he tried to prove it to me, and I didn't quite accept it, but the guy was born in 1785. That's the right time period.
Okay.
He died in 1818.
Okay.
Okay. Third great-grandfather. 2 hints. Source, find a grave. There's 2 hints on him right now, but
okay.
See now, we got Elizabeth Williams. Now, we found out, we were pretty sure she was a May, M-A-Y.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got May. And I just stopped there. But see, I've got Darby Bondurant.
Oh yeah, we've got the Bondurant's pretty far back.
Bondurants are pretty well set up. But I can't prove. I haven't proved myself at May.
Mary to Williams.
There's a cemetery in Christian County.
Christian County.
It has Elizabeth May Williams.
Okay.
The card, you find it. You find the record of it. So this lady had this post-it note, so I wrote her. And she said, well, I'll go out to the cemetery and find it and send you a picture of it. She went to the cemetery and couldn't find it.
Oh. Well, think about all those old graves that were up close to the church.
That's just like
in Hinkleville.
Elizabeth.
There's so many of them gone.
Like Elizabeth Williams here died in 1851. Okay? There is a source. There's a cemetery. There's a U.S. Federal Census slave schedule. You can find slave schedules. 1850 Federal Census. Find the grave, Virginia marriages, blah, 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 blah.
That's for
a grave
Elizabeth.
Index.
Yeah, that's for Elizabeth May Williams.
But this is the one, I thought it would show up when I did this, that says where this headstone was. It's
you probably have to find that on Find a Grave.
Yeah. Well, this is the one that's on. It lists it's on 41A South in the community of Pembroke.
Okay.
A suburb.
Well, and so see that all matches with what you said.
That's where Jim went and walked the street and knocked on doors and went to all the businesses around. Nobody ever heard anything about it.
See.
And if
so long ago,
the property,
150 years is a long time.
Yeah. If I had bought the property and it was there and nobody knew anything about it, I would take it down and cover it up or get it moved, something.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'd get it, people who had money to do it would move them to a cemetery.
Yeah.
It's...
Well, they did that.
That's just like Jill's got a little boy that's buried in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
His name was... She was talking about it the other day. He was born dead. a dead birth.
Yeah.
But anyways, they found a stone. Okay, they got a little stone about like, well, I've got a picture of it somewhere with this information on it, and we've been down there, been to the cemetery twice, you know, and go by and see it. But her and Danny, her first husband, he was in the Air Force, lived there close, and the child was born at the Air Force Hospital, and they didn't do
Something right.
right by what Jill says. It was breech born, and you know
They couldn't save
a
it.
good hospital could have saved him. You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, oh man.